Hey guys, it is John C. Morley here, serial entrepreneur. Welcome to IFYL Inspirations for Your Life. I'm so happy that you've popped in tonight. And I wanted to let you know that I really appreciate you being here and, watching all these great videos and making the choice to have this be a part of your life. If you are watching us, I'd love you to grab your phone, launch your camera app, point over the QR code. And once you've done that, lined up, touch the yellow lips. If you're not watching us and you're listening to us, then go to believemeachieve.com for more of my great creations. And I want to thank you if you're watching us on the replays. That's 12 midnight, 12 noon, 1 a.m., 1 p.m., 3 a.m., 3 p.m., 6 a.m., 6 p.m., 10 a.m., 10 p.m., 12 noon, 12 midnight. Whatever you watch us, thanks so much for making Inspirations for Your Life a daily part of your day. And now let's get on with our master topic. Everybody ready? Here we are. How to put your whole face into it. Series 2, which means we're in the second year, show 22, episode number 4. All right, so we're talking about the hyperbole of how to put your whole face into it, but really that equates to Nike's just do it. And so I think a lot of people are on the fence. And they're on the fence about what they should do because of what someone else has said to them. That's really what it comes down to. And I'll tell you that it's something that people don't seem to understand, but they kind of fall into it. So why do people choose to not just to do it, not just to do it? And I think it comes down to a couple reasons. The one is that people are afraid. They're afraid of their own shadow. They're afraid what people are going to think of them. They're afraid that, maybe they're going to make a fool of themselves. Maybe. They're afraid that they might fail. Okay. And they're just afraid that, people are going to be pointing the fingers at them. And really, the only one that should care is you, that you're doing the right thing. You don't have to care about what other people think because, I always said people are going to like me, people are going to love me, people are going to hate me, and I don't care. I'm just going to keep going on and living my life and become a better version of myself and helping others become, better versions of themselves. But a lot of people think that, if somebody says something and that gets you to change your direction, then they've succeeded. But really all they've done is succeed in being a bully to you because they are hiding your true inner potential. Yeah, they are hiding the fact that you have so much potential in your life and you're not able to achieve it. Okay? That's probably the best thing I can tell you. Okay? And so when we think about that phrase that I just told you, which is, why do people choose not to just do it? And it comes down to really the fact that your life is a choice. And that choice about not doing it is maybe because of voices in your head. It could be. Or because of something else, because of something someone said to you, something somebody acted like towards you, so it could have been giving you a look, could have been something they said or something they didn't say. And let's face it, humans are very hyper emotional. Now, that's not a bad thing, but sometimes what happens when you're hyper emotional is you miss what you're working toward. And you miss it because you're so wrapped up in what everybody else thinks. Yeah, you're so wrapped up. And so if I asked you right now, folks, why would you choose to not just do it? And one, it would probably be because of what other people are going to say to you. Second, it would probably be because maybe you're unsure about what to do. Okay? You're unsure. And if you're unsure of what to do you know what happens? You start to doubt yourself. When you doubt yourself, you become less confident. You start to show signs of less confidence. So not only are you appearing less confident inside, but people on the outside are seeing you as less confident because that's what you are projecting outward. And so when we think about why people choose to not just do it, it's because maybe they're perfectionists. They're afraid that if they do something, it might not be 100% perfect. But what I've learned from my team and being around groups of people for a while is that our best work is sometimes the spontaneous work. I know when we shoot videos, I always want the videos to be absolutely perfect. But my team's like, hey, John, if something goes wrong, just keep going, like roll with it. And the reason you want to roll with it is because, I'm human. And by being human, other people see that. And then they're like, oh, yeah, that's pretty cool. Or that's funny. Or that's something pretty interesting. And I want to share something with you guys. So you guys know that on Friday this week, right? That is June 2nd this week. That's just in 1, 2, 3 days from now. I'm going to be doing something pretty crazy at 8 a.m. in the morning. And you can learn what that is by visiting believemeachieve.com at 8 a.m. or after, when you'll get to see what I'm doing, because it's pretty crazy and it's all about just doing it. Now, if you've ever been in a situation where you want to just do it, but you can't because of your surroundings, I think what you have to ask yourself is, why are you afraid of just doing it? Are there people watching you? Are you afraid that they're going to think that, they're better than you because maybe you just did it and you didn't do it just right? Maybe, right? People ask me a question all the time and they say, John, will doing it get easier? And that's an amazing question, because doing it will get easier providing that you get better each time. What the heck does that mean, John? Well, let's say you were doing something, and in what you're doing, you are making a mistake. But each time you do it, you get better at making the mistake. So you make the mistake, let's say, less worse than you did before, until eventually the mistake becomes like a blip, and then it becomes like there was no mistake. But if we keep fretting, if we keep hassling over the fact that, oh my gosh, look what I just did to myself, or look what I just did, or I spilled the milk, or I knocked this over, or all these things cause us to be hypocritical of ourselves. Not because we want to, but it's the energy we attract. You might have heard me say that wherever our thoughts flow, that's where the energy is going to go. Wherever our thoughts flow, that's where the energy is going to go. Wherever our thoughts flow, that's where the energy is going to go. Pretty cool, right? Wherever our thoughts flow, that's where the energy is going to go. People oftentimes get afraid of public speaking. They get afraid of going on stage. Not because they're not good. They're really good. It's because they're self-conscious of what other people are going to think about them. And when we're self-conscious, we become less confident. when we become less confident, we start to show signs of that. It's not just something we're thinking inside. We always say that, what starts inside shows on the outside. Maybe not immediately, but it does eventually. And that's how people know, well, gee, you're not confident, you're not successful. Because if you don't believe it on the inside, remember my hat, believemeachieve.com. We have to believe before we can achieve. If we do not believe in ourselves, no one's going to believe in us. Let me say that again. If we don't believe in ourselves, no one's going to believe in us. If we don't believe in ourselves, no one will believe in us. And so as we think about this phrase, which is, will doing it get easier? Yes. If we have a mentality that when we do something, we want to improve. We want to get what I call consistent constructive feedback. Some people, they do something wrong. Oh, don't bother me. Like, don't tell me anything. That's not right. But there are people like that. So we need to embrace those people, and they might not be at the same point you are. So we have to be respectful of that, because some people don't want to change. Some people just want to stay in their shell, and that's fine, but they're not going to grow. And if they don't grow, they're going to basically shrink. And I mean that not in the size of their body, but in their energy, in their emotions, in their actions. They're going to be a lot more retracted. When we get comfortable with knowing how to just do it, it becomes natural, becomes autonomous. Okay? How do we create, John, a positive attitude for just doing it? Well, one thing is, if there's people around you and they're saying things, they can say what they want. Just ignore them. That's number one. But the first thing I want to tell you is, if they say something, you can ignore them and block it out in your head, but don't ignore them to the point where you just don't say anything or you don't cancel it out in your mind, because if you do that, you're going to lock in the program. And then even though you don't want to agree with that, you're going to. So somebody says something to you, hey, I appreciate your feedback. I've been doing this for over 15 years. I have lots of clients that are very satisfied. That's all that matters to me. So appreciate your comment, but I don't agree. I don't agree with you. And so that's okay. Some people just want to short circuit you. It's not nice to say, because they gloat when you are unhappy. Those are terrible people. But they exist out there, folks. They exist out there. And when they exist out there, they want to do anything they can to disturb and disrupt you. Because they can. Because they feel that if they disrupt you, you'll miss the opportunity. And then they'll be able to step in and grab it. See, that's a very poor attitude. But people do it. So how do you create the positive habit? Creating the positive habit is easy. When something goes well, you want to make sure you celebrate that little mini victory. When something is going negatively, you see it as a bump in the road. Okay, I'm going to learn from that. I learned that I can't mix an acid and a base too quickly. Or I learned that when, there is water, around the counter, it becomes very slippery. I learned that, right? So when you make the choice to learn about something, it then tells your brain that, okay, it happened. I learned from it. We're not going to do that again. And we're going to get better each time. If I said to you right now, just do it, you probably would be saying, John, what do you want me to just do? And I would say, whatever it is that you think you can't do. Because what Henry Ford said a long time ago, if we think we can't, we're right. And if we think we can, we are also right. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, you know who I am by now. I'm John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. It has been an amazing privilege, pleasure, and honor to be with you this fantastic evening. I hope you'll like, love, support the channel. definitely comment below. Tag your friends, colleagues, and associates. Share this out with everyone you know on social media. Go to my YouTube channel, John Space E Space MRLAY Space Serial Entrepreneur. Look for that key phrase. Help keep our content free. Make the choice, ladies and gentlemen, to buy my team and I a cup of coffee, a bowl of fruit, or perhaps a savory dessert plate. Either way, we're going to be grateful for those pennies and dollars you invest into us that will put that into new hardware, new technology, new equipment, new software, even new facilities to give you the most jaw-dropping motivational content to empower you to change your life. And I'm here to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, just do it. And I'll see you tomorrow.